guys? How are we doing? It is Monday, November 24th. Let's jump into our trade recap for the day. We had one win and one loss. Honestly, the one win I took was a really, really good win. In hindsight, I could have even extended it higher. I caught about 68, 70 points, what ended up being about a 175-point move, which I will show you guys. In hindsight, I am seeing why we could have caught more, but let's just let this play while I talk here. So basically, I took this out of a 5-minute gap. It was a really, really nice setup. I know we had a draw on liquidity right about 70 points above. Like I said, we actually had NYPM high, which is what we took out here in this trade. I would break even at this internal high, so it was a pretty clean trade. I kind of just let it ride. It was only in 3 micros. I took one off here. You probably just saw me take it off, and then you see us hit our TP here. I was going to drag it higher, but I said, you know what? It's a short week. Only 3 days to trade this week. It was also today is a no news Monday. We have some data tomorrow, being Tuesday and Wednesday, so that should be really, really good. But yeah, I mean, for now, we kind of did what we wanted to do. Just turn my volume up a little here. We did what we wanted to do. I mean, I caught this piece. It ended up being about a $330 trade, so pretty solid. You'll see me hit TP right there. And yeah, really, really solid trade. But then you'll see, ignore this for now. You'll see my loss in a second. But 600 is where we were targeting. There was another clear draw on liquidity at the 640s. Honestly, missed out on that. I did not see until I was out of the trade that there was another clear draw. You saw us zoom right to that draw right after we got some 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute structure, break of structure above this area. Looking back in hindsight, like I said, and then we even, I'm not surprised that we kind of slowed down up here, but even if I targeted right there, it would have been another 40 points. So definitely want to get better at letting my trades run in those scenarios. I mean, 70 points on 3 micros is still a really, really good piece to start a week. But like I said, if I saw that draw higher, that draw 40 points higher, I definitely would have. It was a New York lunch, Friday level. I don't really use the lunch levels as draws on liquidity as often, but I mean, clearing the scenario would have been a fair target, even if I would break even. If I would break even on my trade at this first draw on liquidity, I would have targeted the second one, and if we came back down, I would have just trailed my stop, taken some profits anyway. But it would have been nice to give it a chance to run here and maybe even higher. So I want to do better at trailing my stops in the future. So that is what I will be putting in my journal for that trade. Honestly, planned on that even maybe just being my one trade for the day. I hope my mic volume is good. It looks a little low. I don't know why this always does this. Anyway, so this is kind of what we're looking at here as far as that trade. And then the loss I just took, I understand. I did some good reflecting. I understand why this turned into a loss. Basically what I saw here, we were doing a really, really nice job. The 30-second here, you can see really rejecting 15-second, 30-second. We were getting some nice structure, slowly chopping our way down. This impulse move, I thought we would have another one in store, but I can see obviously we just traded right down to this high. Supply and demand traded, right down to the low, and then just kind of bounced right off of it, as well as being in this pretty big 2-minute gap. I overlooked the size of this 2-minute gap, and I did go short off of this 5-minute candle close right here, actually a little above with about 10 seconds left in the candle close. I went short right here at the 648 inside of this bearish 5-minute gap. I was at the minimum. I was going to go break even at the 610s here. If we got that move back down, I'll show you where I entered. Yeah, so in about right here, I want to say, yeah, so actually in about the 648. I was not up 60 points, so I think I just have this in the wrong spot. I want to say I actually entered, yeah, so this is where I entered this trade. I entered this trade right about here. We were trading back into a 1-minute gap, which was going against us now. We were inside of a bigger 1-minute gap as well as a 5-minute gap. I wanted to see us trade lower, and then my break-even level for that trade would have been right at this low, right at this collection of liquidity here. I was looking to go break even, so this would have been my break even on this trade. If we traded to this, I would have been break even, and I would have just targeted a little below this, basically to this equal low. You can see that would have been right to this general area of liquidity. So yeah, I wanted to target on this trade. I wanted to target right to about the 560s, 570s. Would have been 80 points, risking about 33. Decent sized trade, nothing crazy. But you can see that bigger 2-minute gap ended up being a little too much. It did take this trade higher. And yeah, so that's kind of what that looks like if you want a more accurate representation. This was not part of my trade. So you can say technically that I got in right here. And then we got a nice little move in our direction, about 20, 25 points. Obviously, eventually held this 1-minute gap. And you can see on the 5-minute, all we did right there was pull right down to our 5-minute EMA and just take continuation higher. It happens. I mean, right, I trade the EMAs. I was looking for a small reversal here. But of course, momentum wanted to go that way. I failed to recognize this on the 5-minute. Obviously, everything's a lot easier in hindsight, but it was a very low risk trade. You can still see that I am up on the day. You can see that I am still up 123 on the day. I did hit my daily trade limit because I made sure I have it at max 5 trades, but I did trim some size on the first one, then I trimmed some size on this one, then I got stopped out, and that was it. So that was my trade limit. Um, just experimenting with the trade limit on a few of my accounts to see how I like it. Um, just making myself take more, actually better quality setups, more quality, less quantity. But yeah, that's a 1-in-1 day, up 123. Not a bad day at all. I really am taking it slow on this Thanksgiving week. And yeah, I mean, that's the trade recap. Basically, there's only 3 trading days this week. 2 of them, like I said, are red folder. Today was a no news Monday. And then obviously Thursday's Thanksgiving. Friday, I will not trade that day. There's no point. So this is a week that I'm really, really taking it slow. And just focused on closing out this amazing month of November. We've had a really, really good month so far, up very nicely. Haven't copy traded too much, but I've been taking my pieces on certain accounts where it's meant to. We've got some payoff process. We've been doing pretty good, so I'm very happy about it. But yeah, those are the 2 trades for today. I hope you guys learned from them. Again, this one, I think this was a really, really good trade structure-wise. We had our trend line. We were putting in our lower highs, and it looked really good. Even this, I mean, probably wasn't the greatest sign. But after this rejection, especially inside of this 5-minute gap, at the least, I was looking for an impulse move to our break even. You can see we got pretty close. We didn't quite get there. But yeah, I mean, these things happen. On the first trade, definitely could have managed. Just to recap on the first trade, definitely should have dragged my PT higher. Would have been an easy 100 points, right to about the 110 points, right to about the 640s where our next draw was. Friday's lunch high. And then, this trade, we did have the 5-minute. We had that big 2-minute gap. We had the 1-minute gap there. 5-minute EMA staircasing. So I thought this was a really clean trade. I really liked how liquidity. I've caught plenty of tops taking similar trades like this and catching an impulse move down to all of this. But yeah, just not today. That's the game we play. We did have a lot going against us here, so I do understand in hindsight. And it's always important, right? You take a win or a loss. You saw me both here, a win and a loss. You saw me reflect on both of them and understand how to learn from them. And that's probably the most important part of trading. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys all have a blessed day.